What kind of upside down world is this? Look at that. Weird formations. Something straight out of Planet of the Apes. Set up camp around here. Very interesting though. Welcome all to the Alaska Bigfoot Studies. Once again, I am in the interior of Alaska, and I'm very excited. I will show you my setup here, and I just brought better gear. Last year, it was ruined. My trip was ruined because I bought one of those bivy sacks that is basically a sleeping bag tent, and every time I rolled over on my side, the sleeping pad would flip over and the whole tent would flip over. It was a nightmare. It rained all night. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so we'll see. I may just hunker down for a while. But I was so miserable, I couldn't sleep. There were some weird sounds around, but I ended up going home the next day. But I potentially have 2-3 nights here. I'm going to try to take advantage of it. Now, this is the Kasugi Ridge area where I saw that strange feline cryptid. So there are a lot of Bigfoot reports out here too. There's UFO reports. There's all kinds of high strangeness in this area. So I'm hoping to uncover something, but let me just show you where I'm at. That's kind of a strange little throne somebody built for me. Probably a person, but here we go. One person tent. Gonna be cozy, but a lot better than that stupid bivy sack. Bivy sacks are for emergency only. But just found a little spot. Pretty excited about it. So I just got camp set up. I'm going to just stow away my stuff and just explore a little bit, see if I can scout, but tomorrow should be good. We'll see. Definitely more comfortable in this thing. It's getting dark. I was getting kind of freaked out hearing some stuff move around. I don't know what it is. At this point, I don't even want to know. I just want to sleep. So, feeling pretty good though. Hopefully it's a good day tomorrow. It did look like some rain clouds are moving in, so we'll see. I'm not looking forward to that. So, see you guys in the morning. Well, here I am on the inside of the tent, and I'm staying bone dry. You can hear the rain, and it is keeping me dry. Even the stuff in the vestibule is staying dry here, so pretty impressed. The rain stopped. Now we have extreme high winds putting my tent to the test. It's holding up so far. This is what I'm waking up to. Beautiful. But there's more weather moving in. I'm gonna make some breakfast and coffee and just skedaddle. I don't want to deal with a whole day of this. Man, this tent held up though. Everything stayed bone dry, including me. See if I see something on the way out. So ends another expedition, kind of like a gear testing expedition. I got freaked out staying in that little kind of closed off area by myself, and the weather just wasn't cooperating. Sometimes the mountain wins, and this time the mountain definitely won. So we had rain all night, and then of course my sleeping pad deflated. The cool thing is I was on this mossy tundra muskeg stuff that was fairly soft, so didn't jack my back up as much as I thought I would, but the tent was awesome. Big, definitely victory for me there, where I didn't get wet like I did last year. So I stayed bone dry. The vestibule on the side kept all my gear dry. I was looking for bears. I did see a little bit of scat, but not much in the bear category this year. But a couple interesting things. I heard some things. I couldn't sleep last night. That's one of the reasons why I decided just to leave. Besides the weather, is the rain and the wind kept me up all night. Then I kept hearing big logs snap or big branches, and I couldn't tell if it was breathing or the wind whipping the tent around. It was just freaking me out. So I got some deep sleep in the morning. Kind of once the sun came up, then I was able to sleep in a little bit. But otherwise, I was pretty tired, and that rain and wind was just moving in on the mountaintop there. So I decided to call it short. I would have stayed longer if I would have had somebody out there with me, but I just had a weird feeling, you know. I was looking for that feline creature, Bigfoot shapeshifters, and when it comes to shapeshifters, you know, that's kind of that spiritual element. You know, I had weapons, of course. I was out hunting, but I had my crucifix on, my blessed crucifix. That's one of the main things I've been taking on these investigations. But I still just felt kind of off. So, pretty interesting history of shapeshifter beings, especially when you get into the interior. So we're not as far into the interior as the border wars were. So in ancient times, there were 2,000-year wars between the Inupiat and some of the Athabascan speakers. And most of the wars consisted of ambushes. So people stayed in these little dome-like dugout structures, and there would be these back and forth ambushes. Instead of full-out, you know, battles, they would just ambush each other back and forth, and it would mainly consist of dropping some burning material into the fire pit hole on top, waiting for people to come out and sniping them with arrows. And that went on for hundreds and hundreds of years. More up north, but I was getting into that, you know, interior territory. Besides that,
history, kind of bloody history. There's a lot of histories of the shapeshifters, which is the shamanic shapeshifter. I've showed these statues of the shamans transforming into whales, birds, wolves, and bears. There's some pretty neat stories of shamans transforming themselves, whether physically or in a spirit realm, and then attacking another shaman who lives in a village 500 miles away. Their bear forms would meet halfway, and it might be a polar bear versus a grizzly bear, and they'd have these battles. But a lot of that is shown today in these ivory carvings that we still see. So just a lot of history of things like that. I was also smelling this foul odor last night. I know many of you will say it was me, but it wasn't all me. It was like that smell you get at a farm when you smell a big farm animal when they're rolling around in its crap. It's wet, kind of mildewing, musty animal smell. I got that a couple times last night, and that freaked me out more than anything. I thought I saw a cave in the twilight that I didn't see in the daylight, which is interesting. So I do want to check this place out again. I'll come back again. These rock formations were really strange. I thought they were limestone, the color of limestone, but then when I got up close to all the crumbled remnants of it, it was like some kind of speckled granite. And of course, we know what Pilates says: if there's granite in the area, run, because there seems to be some type of correlation. Rob Roy was telling me between these large granite rocks and people going missing. So I was just kind of freaked out. It was interesting. Up in the mountains, we had those weird rock formations, and to me, it's just like an area where these weird rock apes would live. You know, these troll-like rock apes that throw rocks, and giants, and just all kinds of mythological creatures. And then once I got down into the tree line, that seemed like your typical squatchy area, you know, Bigfoot of the Pacific Northwest, big trees, lush forest. So just a fascinating area. Thanks for coming along. We're going to have more expeditions, and I'm definitely going to be returning to this area. But with the weather moving in and the feeling I got, I wasn't going to hang out for another 2 days. So sometimes the mountain wins. Thanks, guys.